Buckingham Palace apparently has been voted lame, uninspiring and dull. Really? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. A nice red phone box for you today, just to be sure that you know where we are. One of the epicentres, of course, of the world. Sure, you've got your own epicentre wherever you are in the world. I still find it very strange, that people say to me, oh, it's all green screen, Neil, you're never out and about, of course. It just either shows people are just being a bit dense, or ultimately, they don't really know how green screen works, because particularly right now, as the sun's bleached my hair so much, you'd have a bit of a green tint around it, a little bit like E.T. Never a good look, is it? Back as ever though to your breaking roll story of the day. This particular story caught my eye simply because apparently Buckingham Palace is, well, as we know, the epicentre of the royal world. When you think about it, all eyes were on Buckingham Palace, weren't they, at the recent Platinum Jubilee events where those wonderful concerts took place, and the likes, of course, of Rod Stewart and Diana Ross sang their hearts out in celebration of our wonderful monarch of 70 years. It's been the monarch home really now for, well, so many years, but not many monarchs have really enjoyed living there. Apparently Queen Victoria wasn't keen because of the rats. Yeah. We're not talking about the politicians that visit every week. We're talking, of course, about the rats literally under the floorboards. She had her own personal rat catcher, by the way, and he was up there with the court jester, if you like, from medieval times. But he fell out of favour because while he was doing really well, the rats out-ratted him. She was not amused, apparently, at finding out that they were still coming through into her bedroom, even though she'd employed him at great expense. So this particular review, it's interesting, isn't it? Because as we know, Buckingham Palace opens to the public every year for a limited period, and I've done the tour many times. We've filmed in there numerous times with some of the wonderful curators, and they've shown some brilliant work of arts that you only get to see when you go in there. What I like actually is when we stepped into the gardens, you get a real sense of tranquility, and you can't believe you're in the centre of London. There's a lake, there's a swimming pool. It's just brilliant. I would describe Buckingham Palace, if you've never been in it, as really like one of those golden age hotels that you think, I wouldn't mind staying here. Still yet to have that invite. Maybe if the Queen's watching, she might think, this'll do, we'll give Neil a spare room here, it'll be handy for him to do the reports. You never know, do you? But according to this survey, which was online, a lot of tourists, particularly American tourists, thought it was uninspiring, lame, not worth the money, and a total rip-off at the shop. Well, I think you could say that about most tourist attractions, couldn't you? They never really truly live up to the hype. But what you have to do is think about the fact that you are going literally into the world of history. It's not an amusement arcade, it is an historical building. And the reason why I wanted to bring that particular report to your attention is this. Whenever you see a report like that, and this is what you won't hear or read about in the mainstream media, this is truly all to do with the fact that that particular survey is linked to a group, like a Groupon thing, where you can get discount cards and tickets and all sorts of stuff. And by doing that, they get a mention because they undertake this survey. We could even say with 10 people, they put the survey out, that grabs a headline, and they get a plug. We're not giving them a plug. What I would say to you is, with everything, look around, see if you fancy the idea. It is worth a visit, in my opinion. I think the best bit really is having tea afterwards, just in the sort of courtyard area. They have their own cafe. It's just nice to sit and look around and think of everything that's gone on there, not just in our lifetimes, but in the lifetime of the building. It is simply magnificent. Yes, it's being renovated right now and it's costing millions, but I'm sure when it's all put back together and eventually, we get the royal family living back in there full time, well, it make it even more special. Right now, as we know, they're all scattered everywhere. The Queen's at Windsor. Charles is out, of course, in his own private home and part-time at Clarence House. But eventually, as I say, when renovations are completed, the royal family will return. And hopefully that will add even more gloss to a wonderful, historic, worldwide, well-known building. Don't let the critics put you off. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.